So in this video tutorial, we're going to set up a meeting through Teams for your participants to join either via phone or their mobile device, which may include their desktop or laptop. So if you're a facilitator, the first thing you should do is go within your Outlook, navigate to your calendar, and you don't necessarily need to be on the actual date of the meeting because the first thing you're going to do is under the home menu, click on New Teams Meeting, which is located here, in order to open up a meeting request. And from here, enter all the information that you need. For the required, this is your participants. Make sure to enter them. You can enter them individually, or if they're already part of an Office 365 group, enter the group name or a distribution list. In this case, I'm just going to do one participant as an example. So this will include them as well as myself, who being the facilitator of this meeting. You can also do the same for optional. And more importantly, make sure that you check the date. So navigate to the date that you want to establish the meeting on. In this case, we're actually just going to use today's date. And for the time, I'm just going to do it from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock for a duration of 1 hour. Location will default to Microsoft Teams meetings, and you'll notice within the body of the meeting request that Join Microsoft Teams Meeting has already been inserted. This is the standard for any time that you click on scheduling a Teams meeting within Outlook. Also within the body of the meeting request, you can put any pertinent message that you want your participants to receive, as well as any agenda topics that you need to include, whether it will be within the body of the meeting request or if you want to include it as an attachment. If you do want to include it as an attachment, you need to navigate to the Insert and Attach File. So that's the body of my sample. Once you're done, go ahead and click on the Send button. This will automatically add that meeting to your calendar, and it'll also send out the meeting request to all the participants' inbox. So now from the perspective of a participant, they will go ahead and receive it in their inbox. They can either accept, click on tentative, or decline. In this case, we're going to go ahead and accept and send the response now. They can actually go ahead and edit the response before sending for either three of the options: accept, tentative, or decline. Once they do, the meeting request will actually disappear from the email because it has now been added to their calendar if they accepted it. Now, that was really quick and it's really easy. From the perspective of the participant, I take it back. Actually, for both the participant as well as the facilitator, when it's time for the meeting, you should be getting a reminder, which I apologize, I didn't actually cover that. But you should have put, the default is 15 minutes, which is normally the standard and should be sufficient for them to get a reminder. So when it's time for the meeting for both the participant as well as the facilitator, all they need to do is open up their Outlook. Well, Outlook would be one of the options. They can also do it through Teams as well, which we'll get to in a short moment. But when it's time for the meeting, they can just open up the event on their calendar and click on the Join Teams Meeting. That will automatically open up their Teams, and then they can click on Join Now, in which case they'll start, they would join the meeting, whether they're part of the meeting as the facilitator or the participant. Now, the one thing that I want to point out is if you are joining via Teams on top of your desktop or your laptop or your mobile device, actually for all three of them, make sure that you check the audio settings. So if you don't want video, make sure to deselect turning cameras off. If you do have a camera, make sure that your microphone is set on, and that you do have a microphone in order to communicate. It probably won't be applicable if you're joining via your mobile device without video, because then it'll be just like a regular phone call. And then when you're ready, just click on the join now. And that's it. It really is pretty simple as far as setting up a Teams meeting and participating in a Teams meeting. I do want to point out that at this time, a Teams meeting can only take place within our organization who have an Office 365 license, whether it's a paid license or whether it's one of our generic free accounts from a nonprofit. And how you can tell is that the participant has a valid organization email, whether it be at kamainakids.com, at heiastatepark.org, or at malaikahana.net or .org. Actually, they got two. So all of those would be able to participate in the Teams meeting. If you have participants that are not part of the organization, then Teams will not work for them, because there is no UI, that interface that will connect them to our Teams platform, and vice versa. Although there are some paid options on top of that, but your best bet is to simply use a third party such as Zoom. Okay, if you have any questions, by all means, let me know. Thanks.